Urban Gameplay, bringing you the most explosive gaming review on the planet.
Yo, what's good, peeps? Time for another Urban Gameplay review, and for this review, I wanted to take a closer look at Dead or Alive Extreme 3 Fortunes. Now, I know what many think that this game is strictly for the pervy type of gamers, but in this review, I wanted to break down whether there is any substance behind the title outside of the over-the-top, flaunting and skimpy outfit wearing Dead or Alive female cast. Now, for those who don't know, Dead or Alive Extreme 3 Fortune is a sequel to the beach volleyball spin-off Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Ball, and has finally been released in the Asia, and fans are debating as to whether the game or not should see a Western release. Typically, the main Dead or Alive games are fighting games based with a counter-based system, so it's definitely a very different type of game, yet fans of the series still love the first beach volleyball game. So does the latest one keep with the franchise pumping? Unfortunately, I had the chance to grab the English version, but does it really warrant a Western release, or should it stay put? I will certainly let you all know in the review whether it's worth buying or not, so make sure you keep it locked.
Story.
Yo, in terms of the story, there is actually no real story to the game. The players have been entrusted with an island resort, and the female characters from the Dead or Alive franchise have turned up for their vacation. That's essentially it, to be real with you all. With the two game modes, the player can either take control of one of the girls in the girl mode, where you can compete in mini games with the other girls, or they can also play as the owner mode, where the player must watch over the girls and make them happy. I'll be honest with you all, with a lack of a story mode in this game, it definitely does impact it for me personally, because I do feel that a story mode could have potentially brought this game a lot more to life.
Gameplay.
As mentioned earlier, there are two modes in this game. There's the girl mode and the owner mode. The main gameplay in the owner mode is pretty basic. The players literally watches the girls and just takes picture of them as they relax at the resort. Making the girls happy include building a relationship with each of them, and the game will punish players if they try anything perverted, such as watch the girls change. Once the player has a good enough relationship with each of the character, then he can buy them new swimwear to wear, but if the player tries to give them one too soon, then it will be rejected. By playing owner mode, this does actually unlock other modes after you reach the right level: Events Paradise and the Pictorial Paradise, where the players can rewatch scenes and check out other different outfits available for each girl. I'm not gonna lie, the women are extremely over-sexualized in the game, and the game does encourage players to take pictures of them in all kind of suggestive positions. One thing for sure, the graphics are amazing, they're very realistic, the environment looks great, and visually it's a well-made game. The women have great animation for the mini games, and will even start to sweat during some of the activities. It does seem like this could be the entire point of the game. However, the breast physics are great, but with the lack of other things to do throughout the game, this kind of does hinder on the experience a little bit for me. Kind of the main thing players can do is wander around and take pictures of the girls, or they could play the brief mini games. There are a few different mini games to play, including the beach volleyball, but there are also other games for the game such as rock climbing, beach flags, pool hopping, tug of war, and one called butt battles. For me, sadly, these are just mini games and they're pretty short, and there are no longer version of each game. Full version of some of the mini games would have worked really well, even if the purpose of the game does seem to be orientated towards just being an eye candy catching game. I do feel that they should have had more emphasis on the mini games. The mini games each have their own gameplay mechanics and possible tactics. The beach volleyball is similar to the original game, where reflexes and timing is extremely important. I'm not gonna lie, I personally still can't master the beach volleyball, but in that mini game, the players need to time their movement in the game correctly in order to win, and winning mini games is the best way to increase the characters' happiness levels. The other two notable mini games is tug of war and butt battles, as these are very strategic games which forces players to think logically in order to counter the opponent and defeat even the strongest girl. The flag race mini game has players mash buttons repeatedly to win. There's no real timing or strategy elements here, however rock climbing and pool hopping are based on timings at least. These two games are essentially quick time events, so while they require the player to be good at timing, they don't offer much else to the players. Away from the resort, there are a few events that the players can watch. The women will go shopping, do some gambling at the local casino, and will also do some pole dancing. The players can interact with the casino and play several casino games which will provide the player with money when won. Several of these games are based on luck, however, which can make earning any money from them a long and difficult process. Naturally, there are customization options available, though they do lack any real depth and feel rather limited. The players can change the swimsuits and hairstyles of the girls, which can affect the player's relationship with them. Some girls will like the players more for certain swimsuits, and affection seems to carry over for new games. However, customization items did not, and the players need to repurchase everything again. Bikinis in the game can malfunction if one of the girls fall into the water. Her bikini strap will untie and the player will see a bit more skin, which falls in line with other sexualization of the characters. The costumes actually work well in conjunction with some of the other game mechanics though. Not wearing sunscreen, for example, will cause the character to tan in only the exposed areas, and switching costumes can reveal some of the untanned skin. This isn't too surprising, however, considering how good the graphics are, and it's definitely a great example of the nice attention to detail available in the game.
Positives.
Moving into the positives, the game does look visually impressive with regards to the animation, and the mini games are extremely fun. I really find the original soundtrack to be amazing throughout the game and does make you feel like you're actually on vacation.
Negatives.
Moving into the negatives, now I have mentioned quite a few negatives throughout the whole review, so I don't really want to revisit those, but I will say that the game has very little longevity to it. After you've done all the mini games, there isn't really much variety left within the game. While the mini games are fun, they do wear thin pretty quickly, and for me, I still can't get the hang of the volleyball game. I do enjoy it, but it's so frustrating at times as the mechanics does kind of feel a little bit intuitive at times. Maybe I'm just rubbish at this mini game in particular, but it is really hard to get used to.
Final verdict.
As I haven't really seen much reviews online, I will go straight into my final thoughts. Dead or Alive Extreme Free Fortune offers a lot in terms of the fantastic visuals, but I do feel that it is kind of let down by the short mini games. Some mini tournaments or multiplayer modes for the volleyball would have definitely expanded the game quite a bit. Away from the visuals, the content is nothing too special, and the Western countries wouldn't be losing out too much if this game never got released outside of Asia. I would say that this game certainly would not appeal to everyone, as it is quite a niche title. I personally have had some fun playing the game and would love to upload some gameplay footage soon. I suppose the $1,000,000 question is it worth buying the imported English version of the game? I would say, given the price tag and the lack of content, it's probably not worth it. I've seen this game going for around £60 or so, and I definitely feel that it's not deserving to be in that kind of price bracket. But if you're looking for something a bit different and a game that you can take a breather from the more hardcore competitive titles out there, then maybe you might cast your eyes over this title at some point. The soundtrack is definitely an amazing feature of the game, and I definitely feel that it's a great compliment throughout. But for me, obviously, you can't really justify buying the game just because the soundtrack is amazing. Anyway peeps, thanks for sitting through yet again another urban gameplay review. I do know that this review was a little bit longer than the usual reviews that I do, but because this game isn't easily accessible to everyone, I thought I'd give a little bit more information in this particular video. Do let me know in the comments below if you've played Dead or Alive Extreme 3 yet, and what's your thoughts of the game. Do smash the like button if you enjoyed watching the video, and definitely do subscribe to the channel if you've not done so before and you enjoy the content. I'll definitely aim to be bringing more gameplay footage to you guys very soon, as I'm still working on some great concepts to bring to the channel. And until next urban gameplay video, we definitely say peace out, peeps.
Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button for more cool urban gameplay videos.